And so, I got a special guest. Y'all requested him back, so I got him back. He's a very busy man, but it was Sunday. You know what I'm saying? So we decided to bring him back. Got my guy Justin Mac Ray is back. The Mac is back. What's going on, bro?
What's going on, my man? Town business.
So
what's going on with you?
Man, I just wanted to get your opinion on some stuff, man. I've been meaning to chop it up with you, but we gonna get to last night event like later on. We gonna save that for last. But I wanted to get your opinion on what's been going on with this whole thing with Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney and some of the antics. These conspiracy theories with Ryan Garcia about him saying he could prove who killed Tupac and he can prove Elvis is still alive and he got kidnapped. And I just wanted to get your opinion on the antics of Ryan Garcia, because I never seen him do this stuff until this fight got signed. In this particular fight, I just wanted you to give your honest assessment of what you think is going on, and do you think somebody is pulling Ryan Garcia's strings?
Well, I think his strings were pulled initially. I think Floyd Mayweather be the culprit from the beginning. Which, like I said, man, you got to let these young kids shine now, man. Floyd has done his thing. He's made a tremendous amount of money from boxing. I mean, man, just be a favorite. Kick back and watch the sport and enjoy the talent, man. And if you could drop some jewels on every fighter, drop some jewels. Don't really have no favorite. Be like an analyst should be, and just like be, appreciate the talent. You know what I'm saying? That's what I do. I don't really, Terence Crawford, one of my favorites. Roy Jones, one of my favorites. Andre Ward, those are my favorites. But I love all boxing talent, man. I don't, I'm not going. That's like going back, hating on niggas, man. When niggas go trying to knock a female, they go back and hate on a female. That's just if you got some game to give them to them. Don't hate on one or the other. Don't talk about the other. Just be positive, man. And drop some jewels on them and give them some things to where they could grow in the sport. Don't do things to try to mess other people's cards up and interfere with other people's promotions because you have, personal. We here to, as OGs in the sport, older men in the sport, we here to make the sport better. We ain't here to tear it down. You know what I'm saying? We here to build it and keep it going because we love spectating as well. I do. You know what I'm saying? So I get up and probably go to 10 fights a year. I go at least about 10. I go to Vegas at least 7 times a year. So, Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney, that should be a treat. I think it's a little overpriced, but I think it should be a treat. I think it should be a good fight that people should get all their buddies together and get, order some wings. Everybody pitch in on the pay-per-view, $10 a piece, $5 a piece, and watch the fight. I think it should be something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Jay, I'm glad that you spoke on that because I wanted to ask your opinion on something else. How do you feel in particularly about the particular location of this fight be it at the Barclays Center versus it being, in our neck of the woods? We a 1 hour plane ride from Vegas and we a 1 hour plane ride from, Los Angeles. So what's your opinion on the location the fight being in Brooklyn? Because it took a lot of people by surprise because we were expecting Vegas.
Well, I was surprised. I was surprised because, Golden Boy being a West Coast, Los Angeles, promotional company, and them being the head promotional company over the whole promotions. I would have done it in either Las Vegas or LA or Los Angeles. This is a Los Angeles fight to me. I think a Staples Staples would have been perfect. And I think then you could price it because they're gonna come out. But New York, that's like a little far. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I understand what Bill was saying about making it in New York, but yeah, you have to put a whole card together for that though, to make it there. And them being the headliners, they're California based fighters, pretty much. Devin is in Vegas, but what's that? 500 miles away from Los
Um,
Angeles. And then
nah,
you would get
nah. It's about
you
three.
would get
It's about 3.5. That's actually like a 4 hour
okay.
drive. So it's
I'm
about maybe.
speaking. Okay, I'm speaking of the Bay. I'm thinking about the Bay. It's a
Oh, from
500
us,
mile
yeah, it's
ride
about
from us
500
here.
miles. About
So,
seven.
but
I mean, if you.
so he would have got a lot of people that was entertained in San Francisco for the fight back in December 9th. They would have drove down to L.A. I would have. Me and some of my buddies would have packed up in the car and probably drove down to L.A. I think this was a L.A. fight. If not a Vegas fight, a LA fight. I don't think it's Vegas yet. I think it's an LA fight first. I think they should fight in arenas first. See, if you look at the landscape of how Al Haymon built Tank, he fought him in different cities. He got the cities to become familiar with him. It's a familiarity type thing when you're building a fighter. People have to, become intimate with the fighter. You come to their city and come through their city. I mean, and then you go to another city and go through that city. And then those fights are really affordable when you're fighting in a regular arena versus going to Vegas. So I think they're overpriced. I think they priced it in New York. I'm hearing that they're having problems with the ticket sales, but I think it's overpriced. I think it should be, $1,000 ringside all the way back to $100 to get in, $50 to get in, 75 to get in on the moon.
Well, do you? Mhm. Well, let me ask
Go
you
ahead.
this: Do you think? Do you think? Because at first it was reported that they sold like 10,000 tickets the first week, but then right afterwards you started hearing this stuff with Ryan Garcia saying that he gonna bite Devin Haney, he may pull out of the fight. And when I do my live streams, I get these people in the comment section saying, and this is what they told me. They said, "Hey, yeah, we in New York, but we scared to buy a ticket for this fight because at the end of the day, are we scared to come out to New York? We don't want to pay X amount of money to come travel to New York, go to Brooklyn, and then Ryan Garcia do something weird and basically sabotage the fight. And then based off the fact that he's been acting like he's threatening to pull out of the fight, and then you've been hearing people like Teddy Atlas saying, well, damn, the New York State athletic commission should pull the plug on this fight. Do you think that played a pivotal role in ticket sales being hurt as well, along with maybe the questionable high pricing?
I don't know. I think Devin kind of got in his head and gave him a reality check. At the face-off, Devin Haney told him, "You're not acting professional." They both signed up as professionals, and you gotta exercise a tremendous amount of professionalism. And obviously, Ryan is not. He's not doing that. So somebody talked to him to let him know this is serious. This. He got it in his head. I think the antics was just antics to probably to help sell the fight. Because Ryan gonna make some money. You know what I'm saying? And you only gonna make that money if the fight happens though. So I mean, I don't think he's throwing the fight. I think that was just antics. But at the same
But do
time, Devin gave him a mature reality check about professionalism, and I've been seeing Ryan training though. Ryan training for it. Bernard even Bernard even been saying it. De La Hoya's even been saying it that he training for it. So I mean, it should be a good fight, man.
I would
It
hope
should be a
I would hope
thrill.
so.
It should be a thrill.
I would hope he training because he seemed to spend more time on the internet than he do actually training. I just was laughing at the Tupac stuff because
But
me
he,
and
but
you
he,
both
but
know
he's
he
a
wasn't even alive.
Well, you gotta think.
He wasn't even alive when Tupac shit happened.
Ryan built his fan base off of the internet, off of clowning and off of being a favorite on the internet. So I mean, that's just part. Like I said, that's just part of his thing. And now those YouTube hits or internet hits, YouTube hits have transferred into monies now. So I mean, those transferring into pay-per-view hits. So
well, let me ask you this: do you think? No, well, let me ask you this. I mean, we still like 3 weeks out. I mean, do you think within the next couple of weeks when people, because I think when we get closer to the fight, and I think as we get closer, and I think people will find it's gonna flop.
Like Devin Haney's fight was planned right. This one was planned right too. It actually gives the boxing fanatic the opportunity to go out there and purchase a decent ticket. Like I said in the other interview that you did with me, people need time. You need to allow people the opportunity and time to purchase tickets to see you. Can't just go on sale and then ask for this certain amount, astronomical figures for the tickets, and then expect people to pull the trigger and get them. Give people time. And then that's showing appreciation. You know what I'm saying? And I think they did that. I think it's more of a walk up as the week. Like we said, people gonna start pulling the trigger. And purchasing tickets.
Fight week, huh?
That average ticket cost is gonna be tremendous. You know what I'm saying? Fight week, and you probably get. They're gonna get some thousands of a walk up. You know what I'm saying? Day of the fight, week of the fight, it's gonna be walk ups. So I mean, if they
so who do you think
they sell 10,000? It's not bad. I mean, they really want to get more of the monies on the pay per view anyway. So this is a this is a pay per view event. So they want to get more of the monies on the pay per view anyway. So,
but like who do you have winning? Who do you have winning the fight?
I like both.
I mean,
I like both. I think if Devin boxes, because Devin is a beautiful boxer, I think if he boxes and he uses his boxing ability, it'll be a unanimous decision. I haven't really I'm not really set on Devin's power yet. I seen an increase in power when he fought Prograis, but I haven't. I mean, I have to see it again. Like his boxing ability, I know he has that. So I can't say he's gonna knock him out yet. So that's why I say if it goes 12 rounds, I have Devin winning.
Okay, now remember me and you had this conversation. Remember me and you had this conversation before when we was in Vegas. I told you when he went up in a higher weight class, I told you that you was gonna see more power. I thought that he was draining himself, trying to stay at 135, and I told you was gonna see an increase in power. I didn't say he was gonna become Tank, but I said you was gonna see him hurting people more and doing more damage. And I think you saw an indication. I think there's going to be a moment in the fight where Ryan Garcia is going to get careless. And I do think Devin is going to land something meaningful that could either drop Ryan Garcia and put him in a position to stop Ryan Garcia, or he might I think he can stop Ryan Garcia, because I know, Jay, you didn't see those technical flaws that Ryan Garcia has that he still haven't fixed going back from the amateurs. And I feel Devin Haney is watching tape, and I see Ryan Garcia making a mistake sometime in the fight, and I see him walking into something. He may get dropped, or it may be a late stoppage. But I think if Ryan Garcia gets reckless and gets too cute, I see something. I see Devin doing some damage. I think he's gonna surprise people. I don't think he's gonna sleep him, but I think he's gonna do some damage to Ryan somewhere along the fight.
Well, a knockdown is good.
Yeah,
knockdown is good as well. Hold on. You get multiple knockdowns. You get multiple knock. Hold on one second. Let me fix this. Yeah, you get multiple knockdowns. You know, you can win the fight. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to actually KO someone. So, but like I said, I've only seen Devin's power increase one fight. If I've seen Ryan's power. Ryan got power. You know,
Yes, he do.
I think he might have more than Devin. But the thing of it is, I don't know if he's able to pace himself to pull the trigger. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't always just go out there, and Devin is not. You're not going to knock Devin out like that. Devin has a high IQ, and he knows how to use the ring really good, and he got fast hands. So I mean, I a good 12-round fight. You know, if they got to drop each other in the fight, yeah. But I don't want to see it by stoppage. I want to see good 12 rounds. You know, something to where it'll generate a 2. You know, something that we can come back and see again. You know, something that
Yeah, but
I think Ryan's thing was he was fighting. When I seen him fight Tank, he fought the wrong kind of fight. You know, Tank is a left-hand fighter. Ryan is a right-hand fighter. Ryan throwing left hooks. You don't just throw left hooks on a lefty when you're a righty. You throw the right hand. You know, and you move a certain way. You know, and I didn't see that. I seen him fighting the wrong fight. And hopefully, what's the guy's name? Derek. Hopefully
Derek James.
Derek has corrected. Hopefully Derek has corrected some things in him, you know. But talking about Devin's power, I seen he could have stopped Prograde in the 6th round. And what he showed me was he wasn't used to stopping nobody because he didn't kill him. At some point, he got to work on his end game. So if he starts getting the confidence that he could hurt somebody and get him out of there, which is going to take fights to do that, he'll be okay. He'll be okay. It's gonna take a couple fights pulling that power trigger and seeing what the damage is and getting them out of there. It's just like chess. You got to have a good end game too. So Devin got to work on his end game. If he got power, he got to hurt him and then finish him. Because he could have finished Progrades in the 6th round, I think. You know, he was surprised that he hurt him like that, you know. But that's good, though. I was happy to see that he had that power because a lot of people say he don't have power, you know. But he proved them wrong. Proved me wrong.
Yeah,
I didn't think he had no power either, you know.
hey,
But
well, I can say I enjoyed that fight because me and you got to work from home, so that benefited us. No hotels, no no hotels.
I went and stayed in San Francisco, got a hotel room like I was going to a fight in Vegas or in another city. So I had fun, you know.
Well, hopefully Devin got a base in the Bay Area because he proved that he could sell tickets out here. So now what he need to do is get past Ryan. Okay, so now let me ask you, because I've been meaning to ask you about this, and I'm gonna let you give your honest assessment. So many of us have came to the conclusion that Canelo and David Benavidez is probably not ever going to happen based off the fact that Canelo asked for an astronomical, unheard of amount of money. And I wanted you to break down that, Canelo asking for $200 million. And I want you to give the math. I'm going to just sit back and let you explain how this works about the math, the tickets, the pay-per-view, and why that's not feasibly possible for that fight to happen based off what Canelo is asking for. So you go ahead, Jay, and break this down to these people. I'm gonna just kick back and let you cook.
I mean, first of all, who's going to put up $200 million for one fighter? first, putting up 200 million, you got to make back that money. You have to have shown or had some data to suggest that you could do those numbers to even ask for it. I mean, what? That's what 200 million. What is that? That's a lot of. That's what 4 million pay-per-views. What is it? Something like that.
Yeah, he
2
would have
million
to just
pay-per-views. 2 million pay-per-views at $100 a pop. That's what it is. And we ain't even get all off in the other logistics of this, because you have to facilitate and pay for a whole card. You got to pay for the opponent. You got to pay for the hotels. You got to pay for. You have to do some kind of tour, promotional tour, which consists of jets. You have to jet the fighters in from where they from, and then you have to do New York. You have to do L.A. Maybe even Vegas. I mean, that's a tremendously large guarantee. That's a I don't want to fight you guarantee. That's what that is right there.
So basically, it wouldn't be no undercard. It would just be them two guys.
You have to do an undercard. You have to do an undercard. And typically, what promoters do when you got big pay-per-view fights, they get all their minimums out. They have to get fighters minimums. So you get your minimum dates out and your mandatory dates out, whatever that you gotta pay these fighters to fight. And you get that done. But when I heard that it just was ridiculous, man. He don't want to fight him, and I don't know why. Sometimes fighters don't want to fight other fighters. It's a reason why. But I don't think he's scared. But it's business. And I don't want to do business with you, so I just say something crazy. In order for me to fight you, $200 million, which is not gonna happen. The Arabs ain't even gonna come put that money up because they ain't gonna make money.
Yeah, so basically you saying so I'm glad you were giving these people clarity
because that was the same thing with Carissa Shields and Ali's daughter.
Please shed some light on Carissa Shields because I
don't even think there's a fight that Canelo has had where he's generated 200 million in one fight. First of all, he has.
Oh, I can give you his numbers. His most successful fight is like 1.3 versus Chavez Jr. He hasn't touched 2 million pay-per-views fighting anybody not named Floyd Mayweather.
And what was the ticket? And what was the ticket sales?
Well, I don't know.
What did they sell the fight for? 60 a pop? I don't even think it was 75 at that time.
It was at that time. I think that fight was like maybe $69.
Okay, 70 a pop, like I said. So that's like that might be. I mean, that might be 100 million because what he probably sold about $20 million in ticket sales or something like that. $20 million in ticket sales. So that's still too far. I mean, if he'd have said like 30, that would have been more realistic. Probably would be a fight that they might look at, at doing. Benavidez probably get about 10. He probably can get guaranteed about 10 million to fight him or something like that.
And that's what I'm saying. I was just doing the math. I'm like, okay,
Canelo is not doing a million pay-per-views. He's not doing a million pay-per-view buys. He's doing what, like 500, 400?
He haven't did a million in a while. I know his last pay-per-view versus Charlo.
Him and Floyd did a million. I think that did a million.
No, they did probably. Too. They did too. Him and Floyd did 2.2, and that's the last time he ever did more than 2 million pay-per-views, and it was versus Floyd. The most he ever did was 1.3. He's never did. He's that type of.
And that was
like I said, I did the math. Yeah,
and that was
I
against
did the
Chavez
math.
Jr.
I did the math. Even at $80 a piece versus David Benavidez, if they did pay-per-view alone, even if he sold 1.2, which he might would sell, that's $96 million. That still would be a huge loss. He would have to do, like, for anybody to make money, he would have to do almost 3 million pay-per-views. And I'm just telling you right now, in the climate we at now,
I said four. I said four. I said
he
four.
ain't even touching 3.
Because
and I'm just keeping it.
Seeing that this fight is gonna make $200 million, and we ain't even talking about all the other expenses. We just talking about one expense for
So
one
what you
fighter.
supposed to pay David Bennett? Okay, so if you give Canelo, like, if you give Canelo 150, 200 million, you got to at least give David Benavidez 20 million. That $5 million flat fee ain't gonna cut it. So I'm trying to figure out how.
20.
I was thinking to myself, yeah, he ain't trying to make this fight. I don't know what it is. He don't want to fight the dude, but me watching Canelo style versus David Benavidez style wise, that's a difficult fight for Canelo. And I just think Canelo would get overwhelmed. One, David Benavidez is big. He's rangy. He can fight on the inside. He can fight on the outside.
I think he's sold. I think Canelo is sold on a better manageable money maker in Errol Spence and possibly Terence Crawford.
Go ahead and break that down, because I wanted people to understand what you about to say, because people gonna be upset. But tell people why.
The thing of it is Errol Spence is Al Haymon's guy. Probably supersedes everybody. Errol Spence is Floyd Mayweather to Al. That's his new guy. That's his guy. Floyd Mayweather made a tremendous amount of money because he had Al Haymon helping him. So that was his guy. So, Errol Spence came into play. That's his new guy. So I want to put my guy up against Canelo, and we can make money. My guy that I represent, I can get paid off of him. I could put on a big money. That's what it is. Benavidez is his guy, but he ain't his guy. And Canelo don't want to fight him, so that's another thing. I think that's really the main thing. If Canelo said he wanted to fight Benavidez, I think Al would do it because he's under the PBC promotional banner that Al Haymon owns. Benavidez is. So I think it's something that'll happen. But because Benavidez doesn't want to fight him, it's not. It's trust me. Benavidez. Canelo's already told Al who he wants to fight. This has already been planned. It's a landscape, already been laid. And it's Errol Spence. I've been seeing it a while ago that has been setting Spence up to fight Canelo. That's the ultimate goal. You see, Terence sees it. You see, Terence Crawford sees it. He wants it.
But he ain't. But Terence Crawford isn't really part of the trial.
And I don't think he's gonna get it before Spence. I don't think he's gonna get it. I mean, that's messed up because I would like to see it.
So you don't think Al? So you kind of already see the play in motion with the belts. Fundora, in all likelihood, is going to give up the WBO, right?
The other night, Kasazu's son fighting was over with. I seen Errol. That was planned. That was pre-planned. So that's what they're telling you. That's what they're suggesting right there. That's the next move right there. He got 2 belts. I think Terence is what, number 1 for the BO though, right?
Well, the WBO, they ordered Terence Crawford and Fundora to start negotiations within 5 days, but in all likelihood, Fundora could just be
Terence. Did they elevate Terence to number 1? Did they elevate Terence to number 1?
Terence Crawford is supposed to be the number 1. He's supposed to be the guy next up, and the WBO, the president ordered it, said that no, Errol Spence shouldn't get a title shot. But at the end of the day, we already know, well, he don't have to fight for 2 belts because Fundora came out only wearing the WBC belt. So I was like, okay, they setting it up. They're going to give up. They're going to vacate the WBO. Already, and I told you this, and I told you I was pissed, but you told me, you told me this was going to happen.
But see, that go back for many years. Al didn't participate in WBO for many years. Terence Crawford, why the Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, we had to wait all them years because Al only participated in WBC, WBA, and IBF. Top rank, they participated in the WBO. Manny Pacquiao, he had that Actually, Manny Pacquiao built that WBO belt up. The welterweight belt. He had it for years till he lost it to Jeff Horn, and then Terence Crawford took it from Jeff Horn. So yeah, I mean, and if it goes that way, yeah, I mean, it's more about right now what Errol Spence is doing, he's on his way up to 168. So he's just getting the title, and then probably gonna move up 160. He probably end up fighting Canelo next May.
I knew it. Hey, what did I tell y'all? I told y'all this was gonna happen. This was all part of the plan. When I saw Fundora coming in with that green belt, I said the fix is in. And I understand, Jay, because me and you both know that Al told Errol Spence not to fight Terence Crawford. So and based off the fact,
the thing of it is, a former fighter can let me be clear. A former world champion can get ranked in the top 3. All you gotta do is get ranked in the top 3. A former world champion. See, this is a former unified champion, multiple champion, all of that. I'm just saying a former one-time champion. Errol Spence is a 3-time champion. So he can get elevated to the top 3, within the top 3 of the rankings for WBA or WBO, IBF, all of that. So WBC probably is going to elevate him in there. And number 3. So if he fights number 3, he could get that fight with Fundora next. If he gets
even coming off a loss. He's
a former world champion. See, when it's advantages and benefits when you are a former world champion. He's a multiple former world champion though. He's a 3-time world champion. So they could elevate him. They could elevate his status. We've seen it. We've seen it happen.
Yeah, I know. Because I've been drawing a blank with some of the shit that I didn't see happen.
They could rank you in the top 3. And if he gets ranked in the top 3, you think Al ain't gonna get that fight with Fundora? That's more of a money fight than anybody else. Right or wrong?
That's right. Because he not already know that he's not going to sacrifice.
Hold up. You think those sanctioning fees ain't going to look nice for the WBC? Huh? You think them sanctioning fees ain't going to look nice? That 3% on some millions versus that 3% on some low millions, on $1 million, 2 million, 4 million, 4 million.
Y'all. Hold on, Jay.
Where you put?
I want them to hear this. See, y'all, this is why I brought him on here. It's not about boxing. He told me this, and even I used to get mad. I used to call him kicking and screaming, and he used to tell me boxing is a business. So he's explaining to y'all that boxing is a business more than it is a sport. And Al Haymon, why would he sacrifice Fundora to Terence Crawford when he could easily make an in-house fight?
He's been doing it. He's been doing it for a while. You look at Errol Spence and all the fighters that he fought before he got to Terence Crawford. They was all Al Haymon talent. When he got that belt, there was Al Haymon talent. It only happens when you get the title. When you get the title, then you can pick. Al has multiple welterweights in his stable. Why I gotta go? I don't gotta go over there to Top Rank and share my money with Top Rank when I got a fighter right in here that I could get approved by the World Belt Councils or organizations. Why? Why should I do it? Because you want me to do it? Because the public wants me to fight? That don't work like that. Don't work like that. Just like, Boots is trying to fight Terence Crawford. I wouldn't fight Terence Crawford.
Hold on, Jay.
Either.
Hold on, Jay. Hold on. I'm gonna sit back and I'm gonna let you explain to them once again why Terence Crawford has nothing to gain in all likelihood fighting Boots Ennis, and that it's not a mind. Boots had 2 opportunities to fight Terence Crawford. They said no. They talked about they wanted to stay loyal to Showtime. He had 2 opportunities to fight Terence Crawford. But go ahead and cook on that. Explain to these people what's the deal with that, and once again explain this to them so they can understand what's going on. This is for the Boots apologists who keep claiming that Terence Crawford is ducking.
I mean, everybody keep on talking about he should fight Boots next. I mean, did Boots hasn't even gotten anything yet. He just got title given to him. Look at Errol Spence. Errol Spence fought Porter. He fought Thurman. Did he fought Thurman, right? Yeah, he fought Thurman.
No, he didn't fight Thurman.
He fought he didn't fight Thurman. He fought Garcia. He fought what's that other guy, the Cuban guy that took the title from Manny.
He fought he fought Ugas.
Ugas.
He fought Ugas. I was at that fight.
Earl went and got all the belts. Earl went and fought titles and got won titles and got all the belts. So that automatic. So when Terence beat Earl and got all belts, he should have to fight Boots. It don't work like that. No, Boots needs to go fight the fighters that he needs to fight a Sean Porter. He needs to fight a Danny Garcia. He needs to fight a Ugas. He needs to fight these fighters, then bring something to the table. Then I'll fight you. But if you don't bring nothing to the table, it's nothing in it for me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and that's how Terence is thinking. I'm not going all this hard work I didn't put together and went, and me and Errol Spence didn't put all this hard work together and won these titles to give it to you. Nah, it don't work like that. You got to elevate yourself to be worthy to fight at some point, especially if I'm undisputed.
And then here's the thing. Also, Jaron Boots Ennis, he don't have a following. He can't pack an arena. And then
that's another
Terence
thing.
Crawford.
That's another thing.
Yeah, why would Terence Crawford go from 20 million to possibly 5 million to fight Ennis, and you ain't gonna sell no pay-per-views? And then people gonna say that you ain't no. Yeah, and people gonna say you ain't no draw.
and Terence Crawford is the cash cow. So he could set the terms and the undisputed champion. So he could set the terms. But I would get the belts up, move up too. Go get them belts like Devin them did. Go get them belts and then come up there. Prove yourself and come up there. You're not gonna come up off of my work. You say you bad, right? You say you this, you say you that. Go prove it. Go become a multiple world title. Just get one title. Win one title. Win 2 titles. Bring something to the table. And Boots, I don't understand. He's a Philly guy, so I don't understand why he's not built in Philly. He's under Al Haymon banner though, right?
Yeah. Well, my thing is now, like I said before, could Boots? Yeah,
he's a partial
PBC
fighter.
Yeah, partial because he was somebody else. My thing is, could Boots right now, if he headlined a fight in his own hometown, could he sell 10,000 tickets if he fought at the Wells Fargo Center? Could he fight? No. Could he sell? Could he? See, that's what I'm saying.
I don't think so.
He can't even. 5. He couldn't sell.
Maybe 5, maybe 4. You got to do that first. You can't put the carriage before the horse. You got to do that first. I tell all fighters that. You go to Terence could go in this city and sell 14,000 tickets. Terence has a pay-per-view track record. He got a big one now since he just did that with Errol Spence.
Yep, and he has a following.
So you should be able to come up off of me when I put all this hard work in. When I cleared out, I won a title at 135, cleared out 140 division as undisputed, and then cleared out 147. I should fight you, and you gonna sit up there and say that I'm ducking you? Don't work like that. You got to put that work in. Put that work in and show everybody you great. You're going to get action. You know what I'm saying? Sit somewhere in Philly and do them numbers. Do 5,000 the next time. Do 10,000 the next time. Do 15,000. 3 fights. Go to Philly and put them thrills on. And let build Philly up first. That way, when you get a fight and it's not a Vegas bound fight, you could fight in Philly in your hometown. You could do 15,000.
That's what it's
about. If you ain't sold 15,000 seats, you're not the next step is pay-per-view. Because what's happened is, as a promoter, you sell 15,000 tickets. I ran out of revenue streams now. I sold all the tickets. So now I need another outlet revenue streams, which is pay-per-view. Because you want more money now too. You demanding more money. So now I got to go to pay-per-view so I could get more money. So do your 5,000 one fight in your hometown. Do it 10,000. Sell 10,000 tickets. Sell 15,000 tickets. Then you know what I'm saying. Do a pay-per-view. Sell 100,000. Sell 200,000. See, that's what Tank did. People don't realize that Tank did that. Tank did it in that order. You know what I'm saying? He fought in arenas selling 15,000, 14,000 on multiple occasions before he even did pay-per-views. So, Boots needs to do that. But I think everybody is using Boots as a savior because Errol Spence lost because Terence Crawford smashed Errol Spence. I'm just gonna say it like that. So they trying to use Boots as a savior.
So basically, you saying they trying to get revenge on Terence, and that's what I've been saying too. Most of these motherfuckers, most of these motherfuckers ain't even real Boots fans. They just basically backing him up because they won't get back.
I got partners that I fuck with, man. That you know that was Errol Spence fans. They was saying that Terence Crawford didn't fight nobody. Okay, so we gonna say it now. Boots ain't fought nobody, but Terence showed you that he fought somebody.
Yeah, and he blew through the one dude that was supposed to be somebody. I mean, it was a one-sided ass whooping. So the dude that everybody thought that was gonna blow through Terence Crawford, the dude that everybody said had fought everybody and was gonna demolish Terence Crawford, and people were saying Terence Crawford ain't fought nobody, but Terence Crawford, when he went to 147, he knocked out every fucking body that he fought at 147.
Yeah,
Knocked him out.
That at least showed you he had power. That at least showed you that he toted the power up from 135 to 140 and 147. I watched Floyd Mayweather Jr. come from 130. He had power. He was knocking niggas out, knocking Mexicans out, knocking everybody out, putting work in. Whooped Diego Corrales, dropped him multiple times.
Yeah, thank you. A fight that a lot of people thought he was gonna lose.
But when he they did, because my boy Derek Gainer was in the mix. Derek Gainer, it was him. It was three. It was him, Derek Gainer, and it was Floyd Mayweather, Derek Gainer, and Diego Corrales. They did a box off with HBO. Derek Gainer fought Diego Corrales first, and the winner was supposed to fight Floyd after that. But anyway, I mean, you know, he toted the power up. When he got up to 140, it decreased. He didn't have no power after that. So he started changing his game. He wasn't knocking nobody out at 147. So sometimes the power come up, sometimes it don't. You know? Sometimes it don't. Floyd stayed down there where it was. So he went to the defensive game. He played the defensive game. And was tremendous at that. You know? But yeah, Terence is a hog, man. He got power in both hands. Can knock you out either way, either side.
So let me ask you something. Let's just say the scenario that what me and you is predicting gonna happen. Let's just say Errol Spence. They may put Errol Spence in a tune-up fight before they give him Fundora. They may tell Fundora to kick back, or they put Fundora in the ring with somebody he could easily beat. Okay.
Man, they're gonna get that belt. They're gonna get that belt if they can. I think he got enough skill to contend with Fundora. Fundora is not. I think Tszyu would have beat him if it wasn't for the cut.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't want to use that. I know you
kind of handicapped him.
Well, I don't think it kind of. I think it did, but I didn't want to make no excuses. I do think myself, my own personal assessment. I do think if Tszyu doesn't isn't bleeding and have blood, covering his eyes, because he was pretty much a one-eyed fighter. I think he possibly would have stopped. I think he would have stopped Fundora because I could just tell Fundora started taking advantage when he saw that he started using his length to started piecing him up, hitting him with some nice two pieces.
He seen blood. He seen blood. You see blood, that you're gonna go to town.
Well, let me ask you this, because a lot of people were saying, which this doesn't make any kind of sense, and I was trying to explain to them. People were saying Tim Tszyu got robbed, but I was saying, hey, Tim Tszyu had a chance. They asked him going to the third round if he want to continue to fight. He had a way out. He could have said, okay, I can't go, stop the fight, but he elected to continue.
Did Tim Tszyu say he got robbed? No.
No,
I don't think so.
He said that Fundora got him. He said he didn't really want to make no excuses, but a lot of people were just upset. But I said this type of stuff happens in boxing. Listen, anytime you go into to a fight, there's a possibility you can get a headbutt that'll cut you, an elbow, you know, anything. Even a punch can cut you. You know, that's why they call it boxing. That it's the hurt business. I just didn't understand why some people was acting like somehow, some way that Fundora cheated Tszyu. When, like I said before, Tszyu had a way out. He had a way out. He could have said, "Hey, I can't go. Stop the fight." They would, and most people would have understood. I would have understood. I saw that gash. When I saw that blood running, I said, "This is going to be a difference maker." And Tszyu should have tried. And Tszyu tried to get him up out of there, but he couldn't really get something consistently going because he was only like seeing out of one eye.
It became one dimensional. It became kind of handicapped in the area and shit, you know. Yeah.
So let me ask you. Let me ask you this before we wrap this up. Okay, next year, let's just say everything goes according to plan. You know, like Drake. Let's just say Al's plan work, and you get Errol Spence, Canelo, AT&T Stadium, May 2025. What do you think happens in that fight? Who do you think wins that fight? Me, myself, I think Canelo is going to demolish Errol Spence. That's just my own personal. I would be surprised if Errol Spence won that fight. I just think Canelo wins that fight.
Well, I mean, if he fought the same way he fought Terence Crawford, he loses. If he don't add things to his repertoire, you know, that's needed in his arsenal, Canelo's gonna have a field day with him, and that's just what it is. See, he's not he don't have knockout power like Terence in both hands. So that's the difference. That's the difference maker with the two fighting Canelo. Terence could do what he do on the right side, on the left side. So imagine both of them coming at you. You know, both styles on each side. So yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot to contend with, you know.
Okay, Jay, I forgot to ask you before we go. What do you think of this situation with Errol Spence and Derek James, them parting ways? You hearing that Derek James may sue Errol Spence because he's saying that he didn't get paid for one of those fights, and they're saying that he didn't get paid for the Charlo fight. And I heard the Charlo isn't with Derek James neither. So I just wanted to get your assessment of that and how that works. Like, what do you think is going on?
So that must be Al then. He must have a deal with Al. He might not have the deal. The deal must be with Al. If you're saying it's Charlo, Al represents these fighters. So the deal must be with Al. Al must pays him. Must be the one that pay him. And from what I understand, it's 10% of the guaranteed purse. So if it's 10% of the guaranteed purse, yeah, you might, you know, you got 10, you got guaranteed 10. Spence got guaranteed 10 million for Crawford. So what's that? 100,000, right?
Nah, that's like that's a million. 10 million,
no.
10%.
What was it?
Yeah, that's like a million.
That's a million. That's a million. That's a million. I'm tripping. That's a million. So he didn't get the rest of the money, which is probably the 2.5 on the back end. That's what it is. He's trying to get the rest of that money on the back end, but you got to specify that in the contract. I get 10% of guaranteed purse. When you should say I get 10% of the back end money after all the money is made back. I get 10% of that too, which nobody's going to agree to that. They might agree to 5%. You don't get the same amount on the back end. You get less on the back end. And, you know, they said he made what? He cleared about 25 million. I guess he got an additional 15 million on the back end.
They saying Errol took home a decent amount of money.
Errol took home about 25 million. He took a guaranteed 10 up front, which Derek James get a million of that or whatever. Then on the back end, I think he generated another 15 million after all the money is made back. He and Terence Crawford. So that's another 1-point-something million that he probably looking for that he didn't get. But you got to specify that. You got to specify that in the contract. And because if you got it, you got to do it by fight, or you got to have that language in the contract. And he probably didn't have that language in the contract because he didn't think that it'd get to that point, or he don't know anything about it. He probably found out about it later. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't know that because every fight is not like that. Every fight it might not have back end. You know, it just might have just the guarantees, and it might not make the back end money. This fight so happened to make the back end money, so now he's looking for that back end money. But you got to have that in the contract. You got to have that in the contract way ahead for the forecast. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just in case it does do those numbers. And if you don't do that, you got to plan ahead. So if he didn't do that, if he's doing it on the guaranteed, whatever guaranteed money, you don't get none of my back end. Now I might give you something if I win, but I didn't win. So you don't get none of my back end. So that's probably where it is.
Okay.
Did that make sense? What I said?
Yeah, it make a lot of sense.
Yeah, if you don't know how to negotiate that, if you don't think about all the fights that Arrows had hasn't generated this types of money on the back end. So he never looked for any back end. He never even probably thought about it. Now this fight came about. My guaranteed money and my back end money is two different things, right? Two different things. My guaranteed money is what you're gonna get, because that's what we negotiated. Now, if whatever I get on the back end, if I want to throw you something, then that's me being generous because we didn't agree to that. So and Al probably negotiated that for both of them. Al put that together for both of them and presented that to him, I would think.
Okay. All right, you guys. So there you have it. Hey, Jay, appreciate you coming on here, man.
Likewise,
appreciate you,
man.
Appreciate you, educating these people, because I wanted these people. You already know, and I don't care if you say some names. You already know that there's a lot of fraudulent channels out here that's putting out a lot of misinformation about boxing, just making up shit. And you know who they are. I don't care if you say names. I wanted people to talk to somebody and get an opinion from somebody that's actually been in the business for over 20 years and knows how boxing works, versus some nigga that's sitting up here just making up shit. And you know who these dudes are. So guys,
man, they go.
Just speak on. I don't care if you name names. I don't give a fuck.
They just doing it. They doing it to get YouTube hits, man, which mean money. So people gonna say anything to get some money, but that don't mean they know what they don't know what the fuck they talking about. You know what I'm saying? That don't mean they know what they talking about, but they gonna say all kinds of things to get some money. And this is what they doing. Shit. I mean, they try to get y'all. They paint these headlines, and the headlines don't even talk about nothing once you get to watching it. But that registers as a view.
That's true. Once you click on it's official.
I've watched it numerous times and don't never get halfway in because they ain't talking about what they announced in the headline. But that's a view. And a view translates into money. So
it's fake.
That's some fake ass shit. Like I said, they need to be censored. YouTube need to hire me to go through the content. and see. You know, and censor that shit. You know, they
Yeah,
don't need to get paid on that.
because some of these dudes, I'll just listen to their channel. It was one dude that said Canelo versus Andre Ward, May of 2025. And
Just
you
lying,
both
man.
know Dre
Then
is
they
not
got
coming
then
out
they
of
got this AI. Then they got this AI shit now. They got this guy that this AI voice saying all kind of stuff, pronouncing the names wrong. Just listen to how they pronounce Gervonta Tank Davis. How they pronounce his name. They can't even pronounce his name right. They just it's the AI. They doing the AI stuff on that now. They're just saying all kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And it just ain't. It ain't authentic. You know, it's fake. Pushing false propaganda. That's what they do, man. That's what they do. It's a whole lot of fake people in the game, man. That's just what it is. Everything that's successful got fake people in it, man. You know, everything about something.
It just seemed like it just seemed like the more
realness is rare. Realness is rare, you know.
Yeah, I didn't pay the stiff price trying to be authentic because I should be getting on here saying what all these other dudes making these clickbait videos and stuff. But I said, no, I'm not gonna do that. I could,
just keep being you. Keep being you and keep being real, and that's gonna prevail in the end, man. You don't even worry about these other motherfuckers, man. They fake it. That's just what it is. They fake it. I don't worry about it. When I hear it, I just laugh, man. Yeah.
All right, man.
So yeah, man. All right. So yeah, man. We'll get together. Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia.
All right. Appreciate you, man.
All right. Peace out.